Fousey started out like many YouTubers back in 2011, leaning into his Palestinian background for laughs and views. He did it all. Skits, vlogs, dancing in the Apple Store, Q&As, and even had a weird obsession with acting like Drake. It worked, and he gained a decent following. But things really blew up when Fousey started doing pranks and social experiments. Suddenly he was one of the biggest creators on YouTube, raking in millions of views and dollars. He even scored some minor movie roles. Sounds like the dream, right? Well, not quite. See, Fousey had a dirty little secret. A lot of his pranks were fake with hired actors. When fans found out, they were pissed. But Fousey didn't seem to care as long as the views and cash kept rolling in. That's the thing about Fousey, he's always been obsessed with fame, money, and what people think of him. It's like his entire self-worth is tied to his clout, and that's a recipe for disaster. Over the years, we've seen Fousey build himself up only to crash and burn spectacularly. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. He's been caught faking pranks, gotten into endless drama, and had more meltdowns than a toddler at Disneyland. There was the time he ran around pretending to be Drake, saying cringe-worthy stuff like,
"That's how you know Drake's in LA. Hey Drake, OVO! No, I'm trying to look like you, dog. Is it working?"
Yikes. And who could forget his infamous 2018 event, where he promised to delete his YouTube channel if it failed. Spoiler alert, it failed hard. And that's when Fousey had his first major public meltdown.
"I have bipolar and depression. That what you put into my head made me want to myself."
It was a disturbing glimpse into Fousey's mental state, but instead of taking a step back and getting help, he doubled down. He went on a podcast and continued his manic episode, ranting,
"Because I'm a real man and I don't need yes men on the internet to tell me who the f I am, you little bitch."
WWE guy, put
Thank
the
you,
mic
bro.
down.
And overall, it was very clear that he was living in his own little sick, twisted reality. He would later be exposed for a really bad addiction to paying for favors. He was allegedly spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on and massage parlor activities.
After spiraling out of control and losing everything, Fousey disappeared for a while. But like a bad penny, he always turns up again. He tried to rebrand as a boxer, but that ended about as well as you'd expect.
Taking it to Fousey here!
And the sad thing about it, there's no defense whatsoever.
No, this is becoming uncomfortable to watch now. He's just not defending himself.
A crib-stylish show that only lasted a couple of episodes, and it really wasn't until he started to do in-real-life streaming last year when people really started to talk about him again. Some of you may remember that Fousey went crazy. He was running around with the mentality of a shitty 7-year-old, constantly trying to make himself a spectacle out in public. And of course, there was the embarrassing incident at the airport between him and this drunk woman.
I care about this shit because I'm like an advocate for like against trading and all that shit.
A few minutes later,
I just joined the Mile High Club. And I know it doesn't count as the Mile High Club because I was in the airport, but I still joined it. I swear to God.
a few moments later.
Got exposed tonight. I'm not a good person.
Cue the arrests, psych ward visits, and long rambling Twitter rants. Fousey admitted he was depressed and had created the Fousey persona as a mask to hide his pain. It was a rare moment of vulnerability from someone who's built a career on bravado. But just when you thought Fousey might finally get help and step away from the spotlight, he came back. Again. This time, he was determined to become the world's biggest rapper. Oh, and he faked his own disappearance for clout, because of course he did. Fousey hired a team, got a major streaming deal, and was ready to take over the world. All he had to do was not self-destruct for 30 days. Spoiler alert, he couldn't even make it 48 hours. In true Fousey fashion, he started lashing out at his team, treating them like garbage. He'd say stuff like,
"Thank y'all so much for being a part of this, genuinely. When I was younger, I used to use people. Get what the f I needed from them, and then dismiss them and never talk to them or need them again."
But then, he'd turn around and physically assault his cameraman for daring to ask for his paycheck.
Will, try to come to my face that I paid for with a job that was going to change your life. Yeah, because you ain't worth shit. Go work at Chuck E. Cheese. Suck my come here, make me some.
Shockingly, this led to Fousey getting banned from Kick, the streaming platform he'd just signed with. But instead of taking responsibility, he played the victim, crying and begging for another chance.
I'm gonna try my best not to cry. I've been under so much stress because I promised Eddie and Akil I wouldn't crash out like last year. That my adrenaline shot up and I don't even remember the last 48 hours now that I'm out of it.
But here's the thing. This is a 35-year-old man, not a toddler. At some point, you have to grow up and take accountability for your actions, but Fousey seems incapable of that. In a shocking move, he called his own parents to abruptly cut them off, ranting about becoming a millionaire while cruelly dismissing them.
I know, Bob. I'm just calling to tell you, you guys are never gonna see me again. I'm a Muslim. You guys put me on this earth, Baba, but now I'm 34, so I'm living my own life. So, Baba, this is the last you're ever gonna see me. I live in Australia now. You guys lost me. You raised the king. I'm gonna be worth $100 million one day, 500 million, but you're never gonna see me again, Bubba. You can call me every day.
Even after getting banned, he went on a rampage, disrespecting everyone from his therapist to his own team. He even called his parents to disown them in the most narcissistic way possible.
Be worth $100 million one day, 500 million, but you're never gonna see me again, Bubba. You can call me every day.
It's clear that Fousey is a deeply troubled individual who needs serious help, but instead of getting off social media and focusing on his mental health, he keeps chasing fame at any cost, and the cost is high. Fousey's burned virtually every bridge in his life. He's alienated friends, family, and fans. He's become a cautionary tale of what happens when you base your entire self-worth on views and likes. But even now, in the face of all this destruction, Fousey can't let go of his delusions of grandeur. He genuinely believes he's the king of the internet, destined for superstardom.
Think I'm gonna be irrelevant? First of all, guys, as long as I'm living, I'm relevant. That's a lyric on the album, by the way, the #1 album in the world that I'll be performing at Coachella next year.
It would be laughable if it wasn't so tragic. Fousey is a prime example of the dark side of internet fame. He's so addicted to attention that he'll destroy himself and everyone around him to get it. But here's the saddest part. Fousey knows on some level that his behavior is toxic. After his latest meltdown, he admitted,
"Now that my adrenaline dumped and I'm back to Yusuf, and I open Twitter and I see what Fousey did, I'm like..."
But self-awareness isn't enough. Fousey needs to log off, step away from the spotlight, and get serious help. Because at this point, he's not just destroying his career, he's destroying himself. And for what? A few more views, a little more clout, it's not worth it. No amount of fame can fill the void inside someone who doesn't know who they are without it. So Fousey, if you're listening, it's time to let go of Fousey and find Yusuf again. The real Yusuf, not the character you play for the cameras. It won't be easy, but it's the only way forward. And to everyone else watching this train wreck, let this be a cautionary tale. Don't base your self-worth on numbers on a screen. Don't let the pursuit of fame consume you. And most of all, don't be like Fousey. Be better. But hey, that's just my take. I want to know what you guys think. Is Fousey too far gone, or is there still hope for him? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe, and remember, in the words of Fousey himself,
Why? Because I run this internet.
Or at least he used to. The fall of Fousey is a tragic reminder that no one runs the internet forever. Stay humble, stay grounded, and stay true to yourself.